and thank you for watching the video. Now, I realize I forgot to turn on the mic and so forth, so there's a little bit of dead lag. I'll just let everyone read at their own time, either they pause the video and so forth, but we just started a new season, getting us to either the holiday events or the Christmas ones as well. So, thank you for watching, and let's get into it. Okay, so let's check the calendar for the next 3 weeks. And there's Helen.
Efficient. That will do.
And then we'll also get in week 2 the Halo's Mark. What will be this week? Win a battle on 250 global XP. Okay. And okay, on the battle to get the ship parts, progress in the marathon. Okay, so it's gonna be one of those type of deals for us with the marathon challenge again. What else is new? Claim rewards along the way, holiday rewards and so forth. Log in on December 1st to claim your ultimate prize. A Tier 6 Lugdunum is a unique skin. Okay. And then start with your road to upcoming New Year 2026 celebration. Let's see here, what type of road to New Year ship is this? Pan-European. Lithium, I believe that's how it's pronounced, and we'll get that presumably December 1st. I would say sticking to HE shells because they do more damage and have a chance of setting fires. Let's see here. She has armor between 12 to 360. Was torpedo protection was 16. Fire resistance 30. Main battery. We live 25 seconds. Range of about just short of 16 kilometers. And we're using 4x4 340mm rounds. And it takes about just about 52 seconds for a 180 turn. Let's see if secondaries. Oh, they're actually not bad on the higher side. So this would be a nice battleship. Since I run a secondary style commando set, that should almost go about 9 kilometers per second. So yeah. Speed 27, that's okay. Ship time for rudder is 14 seconds. Time for the engine to start up, 23 seconds, okay. Well, concealment, it's not really a big bother because it's a battleship. Now, if I had to fight this ship, I would say aiming anywhere past the turns to the front or bows would actually do the trick. And I'll probably look at this later when we all get a chance to get the ship. But I just want to go over again on those secondaries. It looks like some of them are, what was it, 4 or 5? Let's go back. I have a feeling I'm missing something. 4x4, so that's 8 secondaries. So they're actually easier to strip off, in my opinion. But with the range, they do make up for that. Let's see here. The lore in this ship is Arctic's icy grip hides numerous mysteries. Some destined to remain untouched, others meant to be unwheeled. During the tumble of World War II, the mighty battleship disappeared into the frozen waters, only to be resurfaced in the archives records decades later. These records inspire young scholars to advocate explorer to embark on search for the vanished ship. Year design 1913. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun time. In one way, I should say. I'll do campaign later. Let's look in the store. This looks like everything for the Halloween. Okay, so we don't have anything else besides this. We have Halloween Legends, Haunted Commanders, and Spooky Skins. Okay, so we have Shadow Squad, Triple Threat, Halloween Crew, Wicked Squad. I think I have at least some of them from the first 2 years. And then 2 years I took off. Okay, so let's get into it. The bundles, I should say. And it looks like there's about 3 or 4 bundles to look at. 5 ships. And that's quite a bit. That's over $150 just to get. Let's start with the N. Tier 5 Peether. I believe I'm pronouncing this correctly. Let's see here. She has a fast reload. And just like the previous battleship, I would stick to the HE shell. So torpedoes are quite good at 8 kilometers a second and decent reload 96 seconds. You can switch out the AA defensive fire for a plane. She also comes with sonar and smoke. I'm getting a theme for the European ships, I should say. Homing battery range is actually on the low side, if you ask me, of 14 kilometers. I'm not too worried about the secondaries guns because it's about 4 of them, that's 2 on each side. This here is what I want to take a look at, the AA fire. Let's see here, she has 2, 5, wait, just barely 11 guns. They're going to be stripped out quite fast if someone's firing at you with the HE shells. So you might be losing all your AA defenses early on. Even actually, you only got 4 guns. Everything else is just barely 2 kilometers. So even worse. It's not even a 41% ranking. I will actually rank that lower to about 20 because your main defenses are those 102 mil guns, and they only fire about average damage. It's not showing how often they fire. That's something I would like to see be added to the AA defenses. How often your AA guns shoot. Her max speed is 32.5, almost 33 knots. Her rotor shift time is about, I would say, 8 seconds, not the 7.6. And her starter is 15 seconds. She has decent concealment in a way, but comparing that to the main gun, you're not really getting much range for hiding. This is a paper ship in a way, because it's quite easy to hit. If you're lucky and they do just hit that center area, you might have a little life left, but that's where your torpedoes are at. Limit screen duration. Yeah, she's good at hiding, but you don't have any range to your guns. This warship was built in the UK based on the reworked design of the Leader-class cruisers with the modified arrangement of propulsion unit. She was smaller to a prototype in terms of armament, but had a different armor layer in 1939. The ship was commissioned into the Royal Australian Navy. Okay, so this is actually more a Australian. Apologize. This is an Australian ship, so 1936, and there was only 3 in this series. Okay, we know the ship quite well. Is that a texture glitch? No, that's just 22 seconds reload. Same as always. This is a 207. I don't really see anything really change from the 206 and 207 in the Scharnhorst. I believe that's how you pronounce it in German. She does have great secondary range. 7K, you have a good secondary range firing commando that could go as high as maybe 11, maybe 12 kilometers of range. But I do want to check on how many secondary guns you do have. So approximately 11 guns, so that's the drawback. Let's see here. She's fairly. I was going to fairly just defended, but most of your defenses are within 2 kilometers. You got this one here for the 37mm flunks wheeling 30 cannons, which is 8, but that's at 3.5. Yeah, this is just. It's okay. 30 kilometers for max speed. Shift time 14.5, so 15 seconds for shifting. And engine startup 23 seconds. So if you're hiding, then you have to start with engines. You're pretty much a sitting duck. I would say aim anywhere in front of the main turrets, and you should be able to do a great deal of damage to the opposing player. Let's see here, superior HE, rapid reload for the torpedoes, and secondary reach. The lead ship in a series of 2 battleships designed for raiding operations entered service a few months before the outbreak of World War II. Squadron conducted her first battle raid in November 1939. It was followed by the support of a troop landing in Norway, the raid into the Atlantic Ocean, the breakthrough across English Channel in 1943. The battleship was transferred to Norway to attack enemy Arctic convoys on December 26, 1943. Storms of flying rear admiral Enrich Bay flag was sunken by the Allied squad off the North Cape, 1943. Okay. Blazing Dread. Ten seconds, 2300, 50% chance of fire, and 3300. So it's almost the same, besides the difference of 1,000 points. So I would still do what I usually do, stick with HE. It seems like we're getting a lot more HE ships and not a lot of AP cell shells. I would actually, for this, stick with the smoke screen and a sonar setup. That's my suggestion. The torpedoes is 11 kilometers. That's not bad for a Tier 7 cruiser. And she's actually a little bit faster than most destroyers I've seen for reloading. Let's see here. She's running with 5 triple barrel, 155 millimeter guns. Turning radius from 180 turn time is 25 seconds, so about 26 seconds by the looks of it. Your secondaries, let's see here, is hardly there, honestly. I really don't count any AA guns that are 2 kilometers and below. I really don't, because they don't really fire. By the time the plane's about 3 kilometers to you, they're going to be passing over. You're not really going to be shooting anything at them. So honestly, you only got 8 AA guns, and the majority of them are going to be at the 3.1. So this is not going to be a really good ship to have for defending yourself from planes, and the rank tier of these planes at tier 7 are going to be quite buff up and will be hard to kill. Your max speed is 34.5 knots, so about almost 35. Where the shift time is 5.6, so that's actually pretty good. You can change directions quite easily. And for the startup is 8 seconds, so she starts up quite easily. What was her concealment? By sea, 12.3. Main battery, 15. Okay. Usually I see these numbers about 18, 19 on the main batteries with that concealment rating. And she's another paper boat. You just got aimed well enough above the sea level and you can pretty much sink this ship. And that's quite sad for the player who's using this, since you spend so much and she's expensive to keep the maintenance up. Okay, the lord of the ship, Blazing Dread, is a fearsome sight in the high seas. She's side glow of the intensely supernatural heat, like overheated metal. Ready to ignite anything she touches. It is as if the ship has a soul of her own, driven by a stable desire to surge forward and burn enemy vessels in her path. Armed with powerful fire-starting guns, Blazing Dread is a force to be reckoned with, unleashing torrents of flames upon her foes and leaving nothing but sprawling wreckage in her wake. Yeah, this entered service last year. Okay. I'm kind of sad if anyone who got this as a reward, because by looking at the information, she's not really that worth it, in my opinion. Okay, bloody hell. Leviathan. No, I'm mixing up that pronunciation horribly. Tier 6 battleship. AP rounds are the best. 32 seconds for reload time. At a range of 15 to almost 16 kilometers. I would go to the enhanced secondary guns unless you have a need for the catapult, like you're playing with a teammate who has a carrier. 3 triple barrel 4.6mm guns. Turn rate of the 180 is 45 seconds. I really don't see the shell grouping too often. 1.7. Okay, I gotta keep eye on that more often. And secondaries, we got 10. So 5 on each side. She's kind of low on the range of the secondaries. AA guns. Oh dear. Okay. I get they say she's good on AA. I say differently. She's about a. I would classify about 76, 78 because, like I said before, I don't count the 2 kilometer AA guns. Especially at this Battleship. You do have quite a few, about 25 good guns in the 3.5 kilometer range. Her speed is 27, so she's quite slow. Her rate of shift time is 17.3, that's okay. Engine start 23 seconds, so she starts up quite faster than most ships I see for a battleship. Yeah. Quite honestly, almost better I'll just light on fire and let her burn out. Otherwise, if you get a good lucky shot in hitting her front end or her back, those are only 2 soft spots I see. Big guns for high caliber. And epic beast, the true to his theme. Just the sight of the ship is enough to make foes tremble in fear. She's one of the most powerful weapons the Rasputin horde, the dooming the waves with its like the 1,000 hammers beware. And that was 2023. Okay. Definitely missed out on that one too. Now I do recall Rasputin itself. Tier 5 ship, I believe that's usually Russian. Yeah, it's a kind of mix on you, what type of shell you want to go with. Main battery, 4, triple, 3 or 5 millimeter guns. Turn rate of the 180 turn time, 40 seconds. Shell glimmer 1.9. Secondaries, it has quite a good amount of secondaries and okay on the range, if you ask me. I mean, that's 10 guns per side. And your A guns, well, I'll say the non-existent just about. There's only 2 of them. So that's only 3 points in my opinion. Your speed is 25. But a shift time's 10, so that's actually better than most ships. And your startup is 11 seconds. Yeah, quite honestly, I'll be burning this ship down. She has great deal of armor to her. Unless you aim for the front turn here, with that skull, or the back area, with I'm assuming it's a hand. Okay, there's a very menacing that contains a threat of war, commanding legions of heroic monsters. Rasputin is a terrifying sight to behold. Want to play the battleship of them all? Rasputin is your choice. Year design 1869. I get the 69 part. Okay. Yeah, she only has 3 damage control parties. That's what I remember. It's one of the reasons I don't play with the Russian ships. Okay, triple threat. Queen Mary. She's a tier 4. I believe the usual Queen Mary we have is a tier 5. So yeah, the secondary real gun is usually where those lifeboats are at. So this was definitely a different style Queen Mary. She has a great deal easy time catching other ships on fire. I will say that for that tier ship. And I mean that by 39%. I usually see that about tier 6 or 7. Reload time's 26 seconds. Yeah, I would still stick with the HE shells, and she has torpedoes on her. And they're actually quite good torpedo range ones, if you ask me, for a battleship. 4 dual 343mm guns, range from 180 turn time, 45 seconds. You gotta predict where you're gonna be aiming at with this ship. Shell grooming of 1.6. Your secondaries, if I saw correctly, she's not too good. She only has... Actually, she's a little bit better than, in my opinion, because that's 4 and 4, so 8 guns on each side. Okay. 2 torpedo tubes, that means there's probably just 1 torpedo tube on each side. AA, in my opinion, non-existent. You only got 4 guns. Your max speed, 27.5, so about, you're close to hitting 28 knots per second. Rudder shift time, 13.3. That's okay. Startup time, 23 seconds, so she's quite easy to start up for a battleship. Armor. Ooh. If I was anyone who's trying to target at this ship, I would be aiming between the upper deck and that one side hull area. Otherwise, her front, as usual, is the weak spots and her back. Big guns, good healing, good hiding. The project for the 3rd British trio battle cruisers with a 13.5-inch 343mm artillery was based on Orion-class battleships. HMS Queen Mary was built in line with her 1910 program. She was commissioned in 1913 and joined with the 1st battlecruiser squad. She took part in the Battle of Helheim Bright in 1914 and was later sunk during the Battle of Lugdunum after taking a set of fire from German ships, which resulted in her magazine detonating. Into service 1913, ship in series, only 1. So she's one of her kind, one of her type, I should say. If I could, I'd probably go for this ship. How does the other two compare? Mikoyan, if I'm pronounced that correctly. Tier 4 cruiser. 6 seconds for reload. Armor piercing 4550, 2500 for HE, and 11% chance for lighting on fire. Her range is 14.2. Okay. I must have missed something about them redoing the range on these ships at some point in time. Her 180 turn time is 22.5 seconds, so about 23 seconds turning. Shell grouping of 2. Secondaries, I really don't count them during cruises. Torpedo is quite weak, only 4 kilometers. It's pretty much you gotta be up close and personal. That's in case you're dealing with a destroyer, if you ask me. AA. Oh dear, only 10 guns at about 3.2 kilometers? That's quite weak. But she has great deal of speed at 35.25. That's quite fast, even for tier 7 or 8. So you'll be doing circles around most ships if you can survive. Her turning shift time is 5.9, so that's pretty good. You can dodge airplanes with this ship. And your startup time is 15 seconds. Oh my goodness gracious, no wonder she's so fast. There's hardly any armor on her. Oh. As long as you aim just above about, I would say 5 feet above seawater, you can pretty much sink the ship if you're having to fight someone with her. Yeah, she's paper thin, alright. Cruiser project that predicted the creation of the Caleb class battleships, the main element of the cruiser, considered a powerful 180mm guns that were one of its first artillery systems to live in the USSR. Yeah. 1933. Makes it a little sad. Nicholas. Tier 4 destroyer. I will stick to the HE rounds, honestly. AP, you're pretty much doing the same amount of damage as HE. Only difference is you have a high chance of starting someone up on a fire. Torpedo range is somewhat of a joke. I hope there's a upgrade you can go with. Smoke, engine booster, the basic standard types. Only thing different is heavy defensive AA, which we gotta take a look at that. Okay, 180 turn time is 12 seconds. That's okay. Shell grouping 2.2. Oh. Yeah. A defense. Okay, this is. Ooh. All in all, she's not too bad in one way for a destroyer. Having 4 of her main A guns at 5 kilometers. And if in smoke, you gotta remember to turn that off. Max speed of 37. Rotor shift time 2.7, so yeah, that's a breeze. Engine startup time is 8 seconds. Concealment. That's a 6, so yeah, you'll still be spotted before even you get in range of the torpedoes. Yeah, she's a destroyer. I don't have to say anything about that. Okay, destroyer later design. Having kept the torpedo armament on her predecessors, the ship was close to the cruisers in terms of dimensions and artillery power. The ship's powerful propulsion system was integrated to produce very high speeds. Okay, year design 1919. Okay, commanders. 9 of them. I do know I got a few from the first 2 seasons this was released. I do know I missed a few. So Abe Hellsinger, Azaz Fume, Smokescreen Radius. Yeah, I really don't use him. Var F. Ellenstein, Cruiser Gun Trap, Diverse Speed, Hide, Maximum HP, Blue Furlant, Maxo Destroyer Speed, Carla and Tesla, I believe I pronounced her name correctly. Main battery, traverse speed, and rotor shift time. Von BMD Lightfall, cruiser main battery reload time, and cruiser detectable time after firing Main battery. Ooh, he's actually a good one if you want to go on commander. I mainly say that because both the reload time and being able to hide yourself again after firing after long distances is actually a nice perk for your ships. No, plus Ease Sono. Okay. Maximum destroyer speed and incoming fire dispersion. Fuck mode off. Destroy main gun reload time. I kinda had to upgrade him at the time, so that's why he's at rank 7. And then Studious Bleedo. Destroy gun travel. Churn time. Yeah, he's another commander I had to force upgrade because he was one of the few commanders I had at the time that were the best ones. Okay, we got Guises, and these must be the ones I missed out the prior years. 20p Wester. I'm not even going to pronounce the rest of them. Okay, so I believe that's everything so far. Let's take a look at the Halloween crate and see what it's supposed to come up with. Show details. Now, you won't see what I'm seeing because it's putting me onto the web. And let's see here. A few skins from the previous Halloween events. Commanders, Commander Guides, Halloween Commander. Pretty much all the premium ships I just went over. You might get a chance with these crates. And just hit square for show details and it'll show you all the crates out in this season. I think that's everything. And if you want to buy any of the commanders separate, it's about 5,000. What are the coupons? Prince of Persia. Okay, but we have no bundles. I'm guessing that's a glitch for the German battleships. But yeah, spooky skins. Ooh, here are a few of them. Let's start with the back and we'll go way to the left. I do have this one, but I'll still show it. I do like it when I have to set sail with the ship. It's a French cruiser. Okay. Is that a warhog or a rat? Hard to tell. I believe it's a rat. And Charles Higgins, I believe. I'm having a hard time remembering which type of destroyer that is. Okay, Bison. I believe this is for a American destroyer, if memory serves me correctly. Is that a double? Pretty sure I just went over that. Okay. Bismarck. I have so many skins for the Bismarck. I really don't need this one. I mean, I have the green one just like it, but purple's okay. Z23. I remember getting this one just as I unlocked the Z23 Destroyer. And that was 3-4 years ago, just as the game came out. Benham, I went with this one because, well, I love the chainsaws on the front. I kind of wish they did more damage to any ships you came up and met with. Otherwise, you have the light bolt Mustangs. This always gave me questions on why. I mean, you're in a post-apocalyptic theme at the time, and this is the only ship that's clean and white. Then it is Soviet Union, Communist Party, and so forth. Bison, but blue. I mean purple, I should say. Yeah, here's the best one I have. I mean, I don't really see there's a need for me going for that purple one. And what do we have here? I believe it was with the snorkel and the zombie airplanes. Okay. Pretty much the same thing, just a different color. So I'm going to try to skip these. Morgan, that's a Japanese cruiser. And it looks like you have a Kraken. I remember getting this through the prize of a crate. I know it's for a Russian destroyer, I believe. Or was it a cruiser? Cruiser. Okay. This was the one that was the destroyer. I only went for it because it was a steampunk theme that I liked. I really do, I think I still do, when I do drive the Lexington, it usually has this skin going with her. I do have this skin? I should probably apply it to my ship then. That just shows I really don't realize what skins I do and don't have. What ship is it? Trapezoids? Okay. Huh. Wait, what? Okay. This is the one I saw before. So that purple one before was the one they just added last, or maybe a year before. Warrior Orc. I have been looking for this one mainly because it's steampunk. The only thing they don't do is change the designs of the planes. That's the only downside. We have Furious. Same thing. Okay. I know they could have changed the designs of the planes and all. I'm pretty sure there's a Chinese destroyer. And that's when the Chinese ships were coming out, I believe. Okay. Hippo. Okay, so they're only adding these little blue dots to the sides and changing the turrets. That was kind of cheap compared to the first time they all came out. I was the same way. I'm honestly going to skip that one. And these are just painted white. Z23. Ooh, that looks nice. I do like the wounds on the sides. You get the big crystal orb for the smoke deck. Let me double check on the... Okay, yeah, it's pretty much just white. Kansas. Ooh. Yeah, this looks nice. If only Kansas was a little bit faster, I would take her out more often. I do like the radar system on the top. It has that nice spell going on. Montan. Ooh, you got the eyes moving and the mouth opening and closing. That's different. I believe I have that ship on lock. I'll have to look later and see what type of paint skins I got. I believe... Oh yeah, the video, I believe they said they unlocked a new Spanish cruiser. Yep, here we go. Coastal, I believe it is. While developing their heavy cruisers and Spanish engineers actively learn from their Italian peers, the latest achievements of the Italian engineering in this field, the ship armor protection and armaments, the knowledge gained could have coded in the project base and a fuse of Italian and Spanish naval design, thinking projects of I don't know, cruisers and project for a super Washington cruiser from the field shipyard. Okay. I mean, she's quite tough with the defense protection of 29 to 33 millimeter protection. And as always, aiming just above, in front of each of the main turrets, should be a nice soft area. Okay. 1-8 turn. 25, almost 26 seconds. Shokugumi 1 point. Okay. Torpedoes 8 kilometers. AA. I highly doubt anyone's going to have this unlocked until maybe November, maybe December, the earliest. But still, I'm just going to go over the notes and so forth. And I would say in between 5 kilometers, maybe the 3.5 is your best AA defense. Mobility 37, yeah, she's quite fast, but she's a legendary. But her shift time 11.5, engine startup 15 seconds. She has this double shell, so she double fires and it has a long reload. Okay. And now for the campaign. Ooh. Tier 8 destroyer Laffey. Okay. That's a lot of ship parts at the beginning. Let's take a look at this ship. Okay, I know the ship is small. Is when the tones are bigger than the bridge. Second reload. Torpedo range 8 kilometers. I would try as. Wait, what? I am so used to a generally being limited. This has as many smoke screens as you want. Okay, that's new. Main gun range 11 kilometers. What's the concealment? 7.1. Okay, AA. This about, I would say 7 guns, a defense of 3.5. Honestly, her speed is 36, almost 37 knots. With a shift time of 3.1, so it's like instantly changing your order. And your startup is 8 seconds. Yeah, being that size, I wasn't surprised with the protection. US Laffey was a Allen M. Summers class destroyer. Was commissioned in February 1944, the year of she participated in ally landings in Normandy, as well as several amphibious operations in the Philippines during the Battle of Okinawa. US Laffey came under massive attack by the Japanese aircraft. Thanks to her incredible efforts, her crew destroyers survived 6 kamikaze attacks. Any one of them which could has sent a larger ship to the bottom after her repairs. Laffey continued serving the U.S. Navy until the mid-1970s. And yeah, there were quite a few of these ships. In series, 58 ships. That's pretty good. I believe that's everything I have to cover, just about. Operation info. Let's see, Force Reward base. Reward for each victory. I gotta look at that stuff later. Battleship box. Destroyer, cruisers, okay. Wait. Okay, I have to look at this later. But we have the special event going on, the Christmas break. And I think that's everything I have to cover for right now for the season. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.